just a few hours ago, the 3 suspects charged with the murder of a 15-year-old girl in Peachtree City made their first appearances in court. Right now, 3 18-year-olds are charged in the Tuesday murder of Madison Gesswein. We now know one of the suspects, 18-year-old Jacobian Brown, is the son of Brian Brown, who was also killed less than 2 weeks ago in South Fulton. Just last night, 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn spoke to one of Brian's best friends who says he still can't believe this happened.
Never in a million years, never.
His family and friends know him as Kobe.
This is a guy, I've been around him all of his life. His dad's best friend for 25 years, so I watched him grow.
But as of Wednesday, Metro Atlanta knows him as Jacobian Brown, booking number 47479.
This is just so hard to believe.
Jacobian is one of 3 18-year-olds accused of killing 15-year-old Madison Gesswein. Her mom found her dead in her bedroom inside their Peachtree City apartment on Tuesday morning, just 2 days after Alicia George last saw Jacobian.
And nothing seemed out of the ordinary?
Nothing. We were all outside, sitting on the porch, and we were looking forward to getting together this Saturday, the 25th, to have a memorial service here for Brian and Blakely.
Brian's body was found inside his parked car outside this Wells Fargo off Old National Highway in South Fulton. His husband told me in an interview Brian was shot in the neck. Police calling it a homicide.
We're still waiting on answers, hoping and praying somebody can tell us or help us with some type of information. And then for this to happen, it's like you get knocked 10 steps backwards.
11 days after Brian was shot and killed, his son is locked up for an unrelated homicide.
Do you guys think that Jacobian could have something to do with his dad's death?
No. And we're honestly praying that there wasn't any connection relating to Brian's death.
And we did just reach out to South Fulton Police in the last few hours. They say they have no updates today on Brian's case. We do know Jacobian lived with Madison Gesswein and her family after his dad put him out for some behavioral issues. We also just confirmed in the last hour that the 2 other suspects were students at Whitewater High School in Fayetteville, where Madison was also a student. We are staying on top of this story. So many twists and turns and developments here. You can follow the very latest developments with us online at 11alive.com.
Figure out if there's a link to the murder of a 15-year-old girl and a second murder nearby. So here's what we know now at 5. Police arrested 3 teenagers for the murder of Madison Gesswein in Fayette County. 2 of the 3 went to school with Madison. One suspect is the son of a murder victim. Channel 2's Tom Jones live now in the city of South Fulton. And Tom, police are comparing notes at this point to see if there's even a connection.
Yeah, that's right, George. City of South Fulton police say they are doing everything they can to solve the murder of Brian Brown. He was killed in the parking lot of this Wells Fargo. So when they learned about his son's arrest, their antennas went up and they reached out to Peachtree City Police to make sure they weren't missing out on anything.
All 3 of them are also charged with murder.
When Peachtree City Police announced the arrest of Justice Smith, Yeshua Mathis, and Jacobian Brown in the murder of 15-year-old Madison Gesswein, it raised the eyebrows of detectives trying to solve another murder in the city of South Fulton.
It is one heck of a coincidence.
Turns out Jacobian Brown is the son of Brian Brown. He was murdered at this Wells Fargo on Old Bill Cook Road February 10th. Jacobian posted this photo of his dad on Facebook saying, "I'ma make you proud." And this one where he hashtag broken heart emoji, justice for Brian, and hashtag LL Pops. City of South Fulton police say the fact that Brian Brown was killed and now his son is accused in a murder a couple of weeks later is something they want to look at.
It is a coincidence worth taking note to, but we're going to stay the course and make sure we investigate things properly.
South Fulton police actually reached out to Peachtree City Police.
We did exchange information and facts just to make sure, see if we couldn't help each other out with our respective situations.
Meanwhile, City of South Fulton police say they need the public's help to solve Brian Brown's murder.
We're encouraging people to come forward with anything that they can say that will help move this case along.
And police say they are going through surveillance video trying to find something that will lead to the killer. They say Brown backed his car up here in this parking lot, and that's when the gunman shot him in his car. Meanwhile, the three teens went before a judge in Fayette County, and they learned they will be staying behind bars for a while on those murder charges. We're live in the city of South Fulton. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
Count on Channel 2 Action.
Good morning. Today is Friday. It's February 24th. The year is 2023. It's a beautiful, quiet morning. As the dogs are quiet out. There's another deck way on the other side of the house. I threw the asses out there with some toys and food, so they're over there just having a good time on that side of the house. So it's quiet over here today. I couldn't take all that racket this morning. Yesterday, I had a very important doctor's appointment at the heart doctor so I could have a heart stress test, which I am 53 years of age. Of course, you got to go take care of your health. So I had to go and have a stress. I had to do all this exercise and running, and they injected me with all these dyes and medicines and stuck me in these x-ray machines and stuff. The goal is to make sure that I don't have any type of plaque buildup in my heart, arteries. A stress test to make sure your heart is fine. You don't, y'all. I've had so many friends die of massive strokes and heart attacks who never went to a doctor, never went to a heart doctor, never did any of the above. This is covered by your health insurance. It cost me $100 to do this test. That's worth thousands of dollars. I get all the doctor I go to now, they're very, they make you do all kinds of tests. They don't play, which is good. You know, it can be kind of aggravating sometimes. I go do this test, I do this test, go do this, but they want to make sure that you are in optimal health. Sometimes we look healthy, but we might not be as healthy as we think we are. Just phone on mute. Well, let's see. I don't know. I said I was going to kind of like stay away from this particular news story that's going around Atlanta with Brian being killed out there in, I had met Brian, but I really didn't know him. I was not very close to him. I've met him on a couple occasions. But I have a lot of close friends who are very good friends with him. So I said I was going to kind of sit back. Certain stories, when people reach out to me and say, no, I want you to do something about this, I'm like, well, I said I was going to do nothing anyway. They know I'm going to report the news as I see it. And immediately when this happened, one of a very close friend, associate of mine, reached out to me and said, Walter, just go careful if you say anything about this. This is a very close friend of mine. So I said I'm just going to report the news as they have. I'm not going to give my thoughts and opinions. I do have some thoughts and opinions. But the tragic part about this story is you have a father and son, the father's now deceased, and the son is facing years in prison if it's true that he is the charges, if he's convicted of the charges that he of murder on this young girl. And you sometimes wonder, how do these things get to this point? However, one thing that stood out to me in all the news articles that I've seen and read, at some point in time, Brian, the father, and Jacob, being the son, were living in the same household. And it got to a point where the father had to put that young man out due to some issues between them. So when you see a father having to put a son out of the home, I was never put out of my parents' house. In fact, when I was trying to get my own place, my mother was trying to keep me at home. My father was telling me, why are you getting your own place, go to school, you can come down and stay in Mississippi. My parents were trying to keep us in the home. We were not forced out to I wasn't put out of my home, neither my other brothers and sisters. I mean, we all chose to make our own decisions about, especially dealing with a very religious mother. And everybody had enough of that mess. We left alone. And the reason why I say this, for a father to make the decision in this day and age, the world that we live in now versus when I was 1987, 88, 89, when I was graduating high school in 89, to put a child out at this day and age, it had to be something really bad going on in that house that they said they had enough. But again, I said I was going to keep my opinions to myself about this story. It's a tragic situation all the way around. I don't have any children, and this is one of the reasons why. Trying to raise children today in this environment, dealing with other black children, and the black culture itself, where the hell are all these teenagers getting these guns? Where? You ain't got a job, but you got a gun. You ain't got no money in the bank, but you got a gun. You ain't even got a car, but you got a gun. I don't understand this. Everybody got a gun. 15, 16, 17. All of these kids, where are they getting all these guns from? And so the culture, and I saw this coming years ago, bad parenting. And I don't know what the parenting situation was between this young man, Brian, and his son. Didn't know him on that level. But I've lived enough and learned enough that when you're dealing with the culture of the black community with these teenagers, good luck. Because they're going to run to these streets. Hell, I did it. You know, the streets entices everybody. But the streets will kill your ass. I had to wake up very early in my early 20s and say, okay, these streets ain't no fun. I got to get the hell out of these streets. That's why I began to separate myself. But at least I made it to that point after staying in prison. Well, that might have saved my life. So, you know, the black community, the culture, the streets, crime, you just make sure you have to sit back and wonder. That's why I keep telling people, if you want to save your children, if your children are young, get them out of these communities. Do it now. Don't wait. Move. Grab your babies up, head out to the country, go find you some land, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 acres out in the woods by itself. Move there and raise your children in peace. Trying to stay in these urban cities and raise these kids is not a good idea. It's not working out good for anybody, especially for black children. And it complicates things a lot. It complicates things a lot. It complicates things a lot. And, you know, I have a lot of family members and friends who have me raising these teenagers, and y'all, they catching hell. I saw it with my sisters. I see it with friends I know. I've only seen a few people, one particular friend of mine who got his sons to safety. He was able to maneuver around these cultural environments and raise his children who are now actors and singers and doctors and dentists. Two people in particular, two guys I know, two gay men, both got 4 and 5 children. How they got, I don't know, where they were both married at one point. They had boys. And they both of them were able to maneuver their children into safe environments, which took a lot of work, and distancing themselves from the overall black community. One bought a house way out in the country, out in South Fulton County. All his boys went to college. All of them went to school. But when he bought that out way out there, I said, well, we're going way out here. But now I realized he had them kids. And he realized this ain't going to work in the city. He took them way out there. They traveled between there and his grandparents' home in the summertime in Kansas, which is out in the country too. So the boys never lived in an urban environment. Same my other friend whose son's an actor on all these TV shows and all this stuff. If you're not actively involved in your children's lives and you don't remove them from the culture, and there's a lot of badass culture within the black community. If you don't rescue and get your children out this shit, they're gonna get caught. They're gonna get caught up and lost. And some children not gonna make it. I mean, you see all these kids being killed, and I don't know. It just makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. You should give me that. Trying to get a worker over here to fix something in this damn house. There's always something got to be fixed over here. I woke up this morning and shit need to be fixed again. We installed a new toilet, and for some reason this toilet just keeps running and running. He came and fixed it before, and I just told him today, let's just replace it, because I don't want this water bill to sky high because this damn leaky toilet. The water, I don't know why it keeps running. We changed the mechanism, and it's just a bad toilet. So I have the receipt. We can swap it out, take it back, take that toilet out, and I said swap it out. Let's get a new toilet and stick it in that shit now. I'm sick of this damn water running over here. But that's a whole nother scenario right there. It makes you wonder. But anyway, the culture, we have to decide, is the culture worth raising your children in these environments? When you raise your kids in this culture, and it's a culture, y'all, sometimes I think black folks in this fantasy world. You turn on this music on the radio. I don't even listen to the radio no more. I listen to Pandora on my car, XM radio. I don't listen to this rap music with all these lyrics of shooting, killing, and just drug use. And all. I don't listen to any of this stuff. I don't want it in my head. And definitely, if I had children, I sure in the hell wouldn't want that in their heads. We have a culture that seems to promote this type of stuff. The guns, the drugs, the streets, the bitches, the hoes. We know how this shit goes down. You can just turn on YouTube and see some people are enticed by this mess. I mean, Facebook or Instagram, you see the shit sitting right there looking at it. I just say, okay, ooh, the culture just ain't good. And you're going to raise children in this environment and you think they're going to turn out to be okay in this environment? Okay. Have y'all noticed how many children have turned around and killed their own parents? I have. Yeah. And I think a lot of black folks, we get so caught up in our own emotions about we don't want to say anything bad about black people. I'm thinking, dude, we live in this community. If we don't want to discuss the problems in our community, you don't like black people. I mean, the crazy shit I hear is just absurd. That's why I can keep my distance on y'all. I say, okay, y'all niggas crazy. And keep my moving on the other side down. I have to deal with this shit, whether it's family members or friends. I done got rid of so many family members and friends I don't want to be bothered with. And they nigga shit and they foolish ways. This culture is horrible. Hell, I can tell y'all some stories. And I said, okay, let me just distance myself because shit, I ain't got no children. I have to keep in mind that these ain't my kids. And when they come to friends, or family, whatever, y'all caught up in that bullshit. Well, here's an interesting story. A little side note. Everybody's smoking hookah. Well, I'm beginning to hear it's not as popular as in other cities as it is in Atlanta. But I had some friends who were heavy smoking and smoking massive heart attacks. But they warned you all about this shit. But it's in the culture. Everybody going to smoke hookah. We can smoke. I'm thinking, okay. So at some point, y'all, and then some people say, it's good for you. I said, smoking hookah is good for you? I'm like, okay, where the fuck these niggas get this shit from? Hey. The culture. We promote things that are deadly, dangerous, and will kill you. But you have to separate yourself from this mess. Everybody got a bottle at the club. We drinking. Well, that liquor will kill you. It ain't nothing but poison. Between the drugs, the drinking, the guns, the fucked up ass shit. Y'all, where are we going with this culture? Where? Oh, the grave. Or prison. Seems to be a lot of folks grabbed up a gun and shooting and getting their head and they head straight to prison. Just thinking, y'all want to be in prison for the rest of your damn life for shooting, killing somebody? I don't. I keep my distance. I sure do. You know, I keep my distance. I keep my distance from all this culture that you all seem to, y'all love it. I don't. It's too dangerous and destroy your life. And you try to raise children in this environment. How do you save your children from getting caught up in the culture? You got to get them out of it. You got to move them, and you got to do it when they're young. Before they hit preschool, you better run your kids out of these areas. Those of you who can afford it. Now, if you can't afford it, you know. But there are a lot of folks I know who can afford it. Everybody working from home now. All my damn friends, I know so many people who get jobs working from their houses. Here's an opportunity to escape. Lifestyle's a whole lot cheaper. A lot less expensive. It's more affordable. And you ain't got your children caught up in this bullshit. You know, well, hey, I don't have any children. If I did have some children, I'd be packing my shit and be heading out to the woods. I would not be raising my children within these urban areas. So I won't end up on Channel 2 News. I have my thoughts about what happened with Brian. And I said I would just keep it personal pride for now and let the news media continue their investigation. But it's very concerning that he had to put his own son out this house. Whenever a child or parent has to put a child out of their home at that age, something's not right. Something bad was going on. But it was just, you know, I said we'll just wait and see what becomes of all this. But anyway, it is a beautiful Friday. My husband's so quiet over here. He didn't even bark over here. That one time, they like it on that other deck over there. That's my little private deck. I sit out there and lay up and read over there. They're going to tear my little chair up over there. I have a little bench and some more fan and all that shit. I try to keep them from over there. But there's more. I said, let me throw their heads on that other deck over there. Now, so they can go over there and chill. But it's a beautiful Friday, and my neighbor talking to one of her bad dogs in damn months. But anyway, today is Friday. It is February 24th. Almost the end of this month. Another 2023, another month gone. I'd love to hear you all's thoughts and opinions about what happened with this, you know. Yeah, I think it's a tragic story. I just have some questions, you know. And I have some ideas, and so I have a couple opinions about what I think took place here. We'll wait and see what happens with the police find out, what the police report as these cases move forward. And you got two murders here. One, a father. Now this 15-year-old girl. Somehow or other this stuff is related. But we shall see. Today is Friday, February 24th, the year is 2023. I'm out of here and enjoy the rest of this beautiful Friday.